Hi everybody. If you're wondering what this white thing is on my chest, it's paint. Keeps flaking off in this flat and doing God knows what. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about this whole divesting situation, and there are a whole glut of videos out now, from black women addressing black men and saying, why do you hate us so much? And then some black men, are coming, basically making rebuttals, saying everything that's wrong with us. I made videos about this before, but I made it from a different place. I made it from a place that was defensive. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make it from a place of absolute truth. We really need to stop this. We really need to stop this. We really, really need to stop this shit. And I'll tell you why, okay? First off, this whole emphasis on competing with one another as to who can care about each other the least and who can get the most from each other is basically as a result of negativity bias being taken as far as it can. Okay? That's what patriarchy was based on. That's what these gender wars are based on. It's based on the negativity bias being taken and stretched to the nth degree. And you know what? It doesn't take a genius to do that. It doesn't take a genius to do that. Okay? That's the first thing that we need to recognize. The second thing that we need to recognize is that if black men really don't have time for us, which I don't think is true at all, then it's not going to be because they're black. It's going to be because they're men. Look throughout every single race that you can think of. It doesn't matter if they're black, African, Caribbean. Doesn't matter if they're fucking Aborigine, Australian. It doesn't matter if they're fucking Indian or Chinese or fucking Puerto Rican or fucking... It doesn't matter. Men invariably in every community are fucking idiots. That's the truth. Men are idiots. And sure, yes, this world has been built around men. This world was built by men. But let me tell you something right now. The only reason why we live in a patriarchy is, again, because we live in a world in which negativity bias has been taken to the extremes. That's why we have the world that we have now. And like I said before, at the beginning of this video, it does not take a genius to do that. Men are not geniuses. Men got by on will. Men created this world based on will, not excellence. Not excellence, not agreeableness, not intuition, not nothing like that. They got here based on pure will and pure want. That's how we have a patriarchy right here and now. That's what makes a patriarchy. By taking all of the traits that the masculine supposedly has, taking them to the nth degree and building our whole world around that. That's how we ended up in this position. Okay? And I know I sound like I'm saying it is because of men. It kind of is because of men, but women, we have our part to play too because we keep upholding it. Okay? Now, men are idiots. That's the truth. That's the truth of the situation. Okay? Because they've skated by on taking the negativity bias and stretching it to the nth degree. How much room do you think there is for emotional intelligence? How much room do you think there is for recognizing the difference between a sick burn and the truth? And let's be real, I know men are going to hate me for saying this, but most men out there, even the ones who are intelligent, even the ones who are really sensitive, they cannot tell the fucking difference between a sick burn and the fucking truth. They'll try and think of the sickest burn that they can come out with in their head. And then, like I said, they're exploiting the negativity bias. So if it's negative, it must be true. If it's negative, it must be true. So whilst black women are sitting there listening to some, not all, some black men reel off exactly what's wrong with us, now, because of the negativity bias that is inherent in all of humanity, now we're thinking to ourselves, well, all black men must think we're that way. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. The truth of the matter is that in this world, there are psychopaths, there are sociopaths, and there are narcissists. Narcissists are like here. The psychopaths are the ones who make the rules. The sociopaths are the ones who enforce them. And the narcissists are the ones who go mouthing off about what those standards are being enforced. They are the mouthpieces. People who are narcissists are the mouthpieces of psychopaths and sociopaths to a lesser extent. They are the ones who go around saying, oh, well, you're not doing enough for me, and what are you doing for me? People who turn around and say, who constantly state that there must be something wrong with the other because the other is not taking care of me. Such people are a bottomless pit of self-loathing and insecurity and lack of self-love and lack of emotional nurturing. They're a bottomless pit. So of course they're going to keep talking. Of course, black men and black women are going to call each other out, but it's the narcissists that are calling each other out. It's not the majority of us who are just going around living our lives. Quiet as it's kept, the rest of us are being led by these narcissistic people talking about how one another is this, that, and the third, without thinking to ourselves, well, hold on, right? If we really want a man who takes care of us, who loves us, who nurtures us, all we have to do is wait around for a guy who actually checks for us. That's all we got to do. And the same with men. Men want a woman who's nurturing, who's his peace, who's that. Again, it's as simple as finding somebody who loves you. But the reason we keep finding ourselves in the position that we're finding ourselves in is because what we desire is power. And that's the thing that we look for first. So we go around looking for people that we know full well we shouldn't be looking for, right? And then we want to turn around to ourselves and say that the world doesn't like us because we're going around looking for fucking status, trying to live out our ambitions vicariously through other people, rather than just looking for people that we share mutual love and respect for. Rather than accepting our lives the way they are and turning that to our advantage, instead, we're striving towards looking for something that's out of the way, that's not of us, that is more elite than us, if we can possibly help it. Or, conversely, anything that helps us to basically reinforce our own elite status. Power, the desire for power, is at the root of heteropessimism. It's at the root of dysfunction in all relationships. If you keep going around seeking power, instead of, before you just use what you already have at your disposal, you want to go around looking for something you ain't got. That is what we're all doing. That is the reason why these gender wars are happening between black men and black women. Well, black men and black women are the loudest, but truth be told, I mean, from what I've observed in comparison to other communities, the war between black men and black women really ain't that big, from what I've observed anyway. Okay, it's just that we're living in a world where, black folk are the most hated. So of course, when things like this crop up, the wounds cut deep when we do this to each other, because it feels like, we're contributing to the world hating us. But the truth be told, black men and women are no worse than anybody else. That's the truth. And men of every colour are fucking idiots. But, but women, we got something to answer for too. Women are called crazy and hysterical and all the rest of it. But the truth of the matter is that this is not a world we were built for. We're very good at adapting. Don't get me wrong. We're good at adapting. But we're never going to do that well in a world that is basically continuously exploiting negativity bias and continuously exploiting a world where the only way to win is to make sure somebody else is hated more than you are. That's another thing that's, at the root of gender war. So basically, it's about us seeking power and about us basically being abusive to one another and then having the nerve to turn around and saying, the other could be worse than us. That's what we're trying to sell people on. It could be worse. Are you fucking kidding me? That's what we're trying to sell people on. So basically, 3 things are happening here. The first thing is that we're going around seeking power instead of love. Instead of utilizing what we already have and using that to our advantage, we want to go around seeking something outside us in order to make ourselves feel more powerful. That's the first thing we're doing. The second thing we're doing is we're having a competition with one another as to who can care about one another the least and get the most. That's literally called business. We're running our relationships like a business transaction. Who can care the least and who can be cared about the most? It's a business transaction. People are not business. That's the second thing. And the third thing is that we're trying to sell ourselves based on the fact that somebody else could be worse than us. Who the fuck cares? Nobody. So this whole thing between black men and black women, it just seems to me that we're operating on those 3 principles and we're tearing one another down without having the slightest self-awareness as to why we're doing it. Oh, but we're fed up. No. We are mistreating each other. And as for interracial relationships, well, speaking as somebody who's in one, because the guy that I'm with is white passing Jewish at the moment. Speaking of interracial relationships, escaping to another race's arms is not escaping at all. And that goes for everyone. The only reason why me and my current boyfriend are getting along so well is because we've been through a lot of shit and we've done a lot of growing and a lot of learning, and both of us have had to accept ourselves for who we are before we could accept each other. Therefore, when we come back together, we're all smiles, we're all kissing and laughing and all that type of shit, because we've had to learn hard lessons to get to that place. And even then, we're only touching the surface of what our relationship could be. We are 2 people in love. Divesting into an interracial relationship, to even call it divesting in the first place, is insulting. People are human beings. They are not our emotional and economical fallout shelter. They are human beings. Sure, if you're a narcissist and you want to attach yourself to another narcissist, and the both of you have decided you want to be in a relationship because you want power, go have at it. But the catch is that you have to actually be yourselves and attract somebody who is into your brand of crazy. That's what relationships are built on, because it's just like I've explained on my Real Justice Tarot channel. When you are with another person, I think it's in my Real Justice Tarot channel. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I've said it before. When you are in a relationship with another person and you are both authentic and your core ethical values are on the same page, you are building a world together. So you go from building a world of your own by yourself to merging kingdoms with another person. That's big shit. That is big shit. It doesn't take skin color. It doesn't take gender. It doesn't even take sexuality. It takes core ethics. And the fact that we're having all these power struggles and stuff like that, I want to say that it's patriarchy because men have, benefited the most systemically from this society. But the truth of the matter is that it's negativity bias taken to the nth degree. That's why we're out here fighting with each other. Shout out to Mooncat for giving me that, by the way. It's just ridiculous. Like, this whole thing just needs to fucking stop. I'm sick of it. Stop trying to be emotional gangsters, or, like, let's be real, stop trying to be emotionally unethical fuck faces, and just accept yourselves for who you are, accept your environment, work within it, and you will find somebody who is with your core ethics and who matches your core ethics. Like, just find somebody like that. Stop looking for fucking power. You already have it. And yeah, I know I'm contradicting myself because I said before that, not everybody can get power. But the truth is, love is everywhere. You just don't fucking want it because of how abundant it is. You just don't fucking want it based on how abundant it is. And whilst I'm on the subject of acceptance in the black community needs to stop lying. You need to stop lying. When there are other black people out there that talk about, feeling judged by the black community or not feeling welcomed by the black community when we date out or when we're not stereotypical and things like that, good and goddamn well there are people in the community that don't accept people who are different. The black community is no different to any other community. So how the hell do you figure that we are the only ones on the planet who accept everyone? I don't know what you think acceptance is, but clearly something's wrong if people from our race are dating out because they don't feel black enough, or they don't feel accepted enough, or they don't feel this enough, or they don't feel that enough. It's like we go from calling everybody bedwenches and coons to suddenly turning around and saying, I promise we're not thinking about you. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You know you are. Stop lying. Stop lying. You can't turn around and call people bedwenches and coons who are dating out, or for not being the type of black person that doesn't fit. And then when these same black people talk about, the struggles that they've gone through trying to fit in, or trying to, or them trying to fit in as a black person within their own black community, you want to gaslight them and turn around and say, I promise we're not thinking about you. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Because damn well that's a lie. But again, it's about power. Trying to be emotional gangsters out here. It's not cool. Stop lying. Stop lying and stop trying to be something you're not. Because once you do that, I promise you will find somebody you'll find people in your life who will truly resonate with you. But you got to be honest and you got to stop fronting. I'm not a good person. I've got narcissistic traits. I might not be a narcissist, but I've got narcissistic traits. I can be mean. I can be fucking ruthless when I want to be. I can also be very loving when I want to be. There are times when I'm overly nice for no reason. I've got to release the good and the bad in me. I have got to let that show. I've got to be authentic. I've got to let people see me as I am, so that I can attract people to me who share my core ethics. It's as simple and it's as clear cut as that. You want love, that's what you need to do. Stop trying to fucking be something you're not. And you will find somebody that you are. Now I'm done with this shit. I'm sick of this shit. I could easily scroll by and not say anything. But this shit is just getting out of hand. Have you all not noticed that we're in a pandemic right now? We're in a pandemic. There are fucking shortages, food and fuel shortages right now, and everybody's eating each other over bullshit. Like, man, wake the fuck up. Wake up, bro. Stupid. Anyway, I gotta go, man. I gotta go. You know, and as soon as my boyfriend gets back here, I'm gonna love on that man like you wouldn't believe. Okay? And show him that I appreciate him, because he might be a man, but he's my man. For the time being, anyway. Nah, this is stupid. This whole thing is stupid. People need to grow the hell up, man. But what do I know? I'm just a 36-year-old woman that's avoided all the mistakes that she could have made when she was younger. Who am I, right? But anyway, I gotta go. Later.